What's happening, everyone? Hope you're doing great today. In our last couple lessons, we have been diving into blues improvisation, and more specifically, we've been going over how to use different types of scales in conjunction with each other to make more interesting and diverse sounding solos. Those scales we talked about were the minor blues scale, the major blues or happy blues scale, and then both are minor and major pentatonics, as well as Mixolydian scales. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've composed two different solos that will be played over a 12-bar blues in the key of A. And each of these solos will utilize aspects of these scales that we've discussed, right? And then what we're gonna do at the end, after I play you the solo, we're gonna analyze it kind of like bar by bar, or a couple bars at a time, so you can see where I'm using certain scales, like over which chords, and some different licks that you can use that incorporate different aspects of these scales. All right, so give me 1 sec. I'm gonna play you the first solo, and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed that solo. Time to talk about it. All right, so in bar 1, we have an A7 chord. And so what I did was I went into my 5th position, which is just a very natural place for a guitar player to want to go to your first box of your minor pentatonic. But what I actually did was I played a major blues lick, or the happy blues lick that we talked about in a previous lesson, I think in part 2. So I start with the note A here on the 7th fret of the 4th string. B, that's some happy blues note. C, that's the blue note in the happy blues scale. And then C sharp, which is also happy blues. And then E here on the 2nd string. So, and then we're coming into a D7 chord. When I hit this note A, the harmony switches on bar 2 to D7, okay? So, still in happy blues, and I used that blue note and I kind of like did a pinch harmonic and bent it a little bit. It's like a half bend or like quarter bend. And then we're back to A7 on bar 3 and 4. And I kind of repeat the lick I did in bar 1, but then expand it. Then I borrowed this note G, which is not a major blues or major pentatonic note. It's a note from the minor pentatonic or minor blues scale. It's also in the A Mixolydian scale. So I'm now adding a note from another scale. But then I come back to this F sharp, which is very much happy blues or Mixolydian. And then I bend off of it. That lick there is just a bend, release, pull, so really quick. Releasing, pulling off to 5th fret, and then landing 7th fret on the D string, okay? Then I slide up. All of that is over a D7 chord. That's bars 5 and 6. And what I did was I slid up here to the 14th fret, so now I'm in my A minor pentatonic box 4, but the lick I play here, that's all minor pentatonic, but then I go. So what I did is I played C. You can think of that as minor pentatonic. And then we go G, again minor pentatonic, but then F sharp. That's using more of a D major pentatonic, or you can think of it also as A Mixolydian. And then E, D. So I'm essentially just going down a descending A Mixolydian scale is really how I'm thinking about it. And then I add happy blue note here. That's C, C sharp, A. Then I just come off of it, G, A. Okay, Mixolydian again. Then I do a happy blues lick descending all the way down to my low A. So what that is happy blues, and then minor blues. And then more kind of major pentatonic, happy blues or Mixolydian, A Mixolydian. Okay, and then I'm coming into the E chord. This is gonna be measure 9. So I just use a minor blues, which also acts as a leading tone into E, so D, D sharp, E. So now I'm in A minor blues scale. That's just a blues lick. And then I do a little bend release, not a bend release, sorry, hammer on pull off lick. Or as I like to say, a doodly doo. And then you have D7 on measure 10. I'm just playing a D chord here, okay? I'm playing the notes D and F sharp, double stop. That's the root and third of a D7 chord. So I'm just playing that. And then I play C and E, which are the 7th and the 9th of a D7 chord or D9 chord. They also belong to the minor pentatonic. Okay, so it's minor pentatonic, A minor pentatonic. And then here at the end, on measures 11 and 12, I did a blues turnaround, a very common blues turnaround. Now, I'm not going to dive into the theory on how to play a blues turnaround or come up with your own, but essentially what it is it's a back cycle of chords to get back to our E7, which is the 5 chord, and then we resolve that back to the 1, which is A. So the turnaround sounds like this. Landing here on E and A, it's like an A power chord inverted, and then I do a happy blues on E. It's a happy blues lick and E blues, okay? And then I just hit the top 2 strings as like a little on beat 4, and then I landed to end on an A7 voicing up here, G, C sharp, G. That's the 7th and 3rd of an A7 chord. And there's the root, right? And that's how I end the solo. All right? So that was the first solo. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna make another video for the second solo, so you can have kind of 2 standalone things. And I hope this helps you with your soloing and your improvising, okay? The idea here is to make sense of these scales that we've been learning about, and how someone might utilize them in different settings or in different contexts and like over different chords, right? So what I recommend doing is maybe just downloading the tab for the solo. I'll put it in the comments below in the description. And then you can learn some of the licks. If you like some of them, you can steal them and incorporate them into your own solos, and then you're off and running, all right? I'll see you back here in a second. I'm gonna do video or solo number 2. And in the meantime, you can you can subscribe, you can tell your friend, you can tell your dog, you can tell your mom. All right, peace, y'all.